Blackstone has enough accessories out there, and I also own enough of them, that I think we're going to start a new series on this channel of reviewing some Blackstone gadgets and products to see if they're worth your time and what they're good and used for. So we're going to start with a gem of a product. Here it is, the Blackstone Pro Series serve and store prep cart. So I managed to find one of these at my local Walmart, and I of course just had to pick it up. What I really like is that it kind of completes this outdoor kitchen feel. So for people like me who can't afford or don't have the space for a real outdoor kitchen with all the built-in stuff, this is a nice alternative because you get kind of that outdoor kitchen look and feel where I have my Blackstone over here, and then I've got this nice little prep area over here, including the sink and everything, so that I can kind of get that outdoor kitchen feel. So just a few features that you can see on here. Obviously there is the sink. We'll look at this a little more in depth in just a minute. Underneath the sink, you've got this paper towel holder that pulls out. Over here, you've got a nice magnetic strip. You could put your spatulas and stuff on. This does come with, hanging right down here, you can see the metal thing in here, a place for your trash bag. I already have this trash can, so I'm using that instead, but you do have a place for a trash bag if you want to use that. Then you also have your bottle opener for those beverages that you want to have along with it. And then you got tons of storage, and I was shocked at how much storage this actually was. It doesn't look like much when you look at it, but I got all of my accessories in here, and I have a ton. So just to give you a look, down in here, this is a nice deep cabinet, and it's tall, and you could tell Blackstone really thinks about their products when they put them together, and they want everything to work together, and they want everything to fit nicely together. So you can see I could get my large hood dome in here. I can get all of my presses and the cutting board, and I've got some other stuff that I use a little less frequently out back there in the back. So everything fits real nicely. In here, it comes with, now this, it doesn't come with this larger bin, but it does come with these smaller bins. And I'm putting my oils down here. I've got my warming tray sitting there, which fits perfectly. So I can get tons of stuff down in here. This is even a taller oil thing, and you can see that that fits in this nice deep drawer. This drawer even has a plug. You can see it down there at the bottom. I've heard of some people saying that they've put ice in here and used it as like a ice chest for beers and stuff. And then you can undo the plug and let it drain. And then again, you could tell they've been thinking because the taco racks fit perfectly in here. I've got my little egg tray down there too. Everything just fits so nicely, and I can put so much in here. Now these got some nice spice drawers, which again, the spices fit in perfectly, okay? Nice and deep and long. They also fit things like the tongs and the knife, all your spatulas and stuff. All of those drawers came with these bins, and this thing also came with these set of hooks. And all of that fits nicely here on this nice little prep area, which is all stainless steel, very nice. And so you could take these hooks and hook them in here and actually use this to hang up your spatulas and stuff. You can also take these bins, they have a little hook on the back of them, and hang them up there. What I like about this is that you're not wasting prep area on some of your prepped stuff. So like you could prep some vegetables, you could prep some different things that you're gonna cook with, and then you can hang them up here for when you need them, or you can have an empty bin hanging up here, and as you cut and do things and prep on your surface, put them in here. And these bins don't take up valuable space on your prep area. It gives you that nice open space to continue to use for prep, while you store your stuff up there. Okay, so I really like that. And like I said, every one of these drawers, these little drawers, came with 2 of these inside it. So I got a ton of these little things here. I also have this set, which also works with this. But you know what? You really, if you buy this prep cart, don't need that set down there, because it comes with so many of these that you're more than covered, okay? In fact, I had so many of them, I wanted to put my spatulas and stuff in these drawers. I had to take them out so that I could have storage, okay? Okay, another nice little feature besides the hanging rack here is you've got a spot right here for an LED light. And I really like that it's mounted up there. It's nice and bright. I like that it's LED, which means the batteries are going to last a long time. That's the thing. It is battery powered. It takes 8 AA batteries. The battery pack hides back here behind here. And they've installed this nice little button that you can hook up to it. So it's really, really nice setup. It doesn't feel cheap at all, where you would like flip a switch or do something like that on a battery pack. It gives you this nice little setup here. Looks very professional, very nicely done. And like I said, it's LED. You may worry about the fact that it's battery powered, but those batteries will last a long time with this LED light, so that will be okay. So coming over to the side shelf here, one of the things I also like is that they have this opening here. And some people wonder what the opening's for, but this is perfect. If you're over here prepping on here, cutting stuff up, chopping stuff up on here, you could slide your scraps right into that hole. And if you have that trash bag holder up, the trash bag is directly below this. And this is a nice little surface for you to just slide your scraps right into that hole, go right into your trash bag. You have your hanging things here. If you've got more accessories you want to hang up, you got some more hanging things on this side, okay? Now, let's talk about this sink. So, I was a little skeptical about the sink. Okay, so first off, I didn't really need a sink. And I was a little disappointed that I had to spend a little bit of extra money that went into this cart for the sink, and it was taking up valuable shelf space. I will say, now that I have it, I'm kind of happy I do, because again, it completes this outdoor kitchen feel, and it's nice having the sink out here to use. Here's my one gripe about the sink. When I put this thing together, which by the way, this thing took a good 3 to 4 hours for me to put together by myself. Now they recommend having 2 people help you put it together. There were some times that I needed a second person, so I had to have my wife help me hold some parts together and whatnot. Most of it could be done by myself though, but it did take a long time, longer than I thought it would, okay? But my complaint about the sink is there is no instructions whatsoever included with this thing on how to make this sink work. All they do is give you instructions on putting the thing together, but there is nothing on how to hook the sink up and how to use the sink and how to make it work. So I had to do some research online, which was difficult to do. There wasn't a lot of information online to find a way to make it so that the sink actually runs. Now I have the hose strength turned on really low, which is why it's dribbling like that. If I turn the hose strength all the way up, it does flow really hard. It gives you a nice strong flow out of there, okay? So you get a lot of water pressure out of it. But I thought, if I'm gonna have this sink, I want it to work and I wanna run it. So I had to look up how to put it together. Now, I'm sure there are some people who are gonna tell me that I did this wrong, right? And I would love if you have some information on how to do this better. I would love to hear it. So I went and found some gadget little attachments here. I'm not a plumber, so I don't know what I'm doing. And was able to attach a hose to the bottom of it. So this up here comes with the sink, right? But this piece I had to purchase, which attaches the hose to it. It does not come ready to attach a hose to it. Okay, that's important for you to know. So I had to purchase a separate piece to make it so I could attach a hose to it. And I wanted to get food grade hose so it's safe for drinking water. Okay, so that's a special hose. You can't just use any garden hose. And then for the drain, I also had to get this attachment right here, which the gold piece that, or brass piece that wasn't included, so I can hook a tube up to it so the water has a place to flow. And so what I have, and this isn't flowing real well because it's curled up, but that's because I just hooked it up. But I have that tube going that way and flowing out to the side yard there. And the hose I have tucked up underneath the house here, and it goes over here to my hose bib. And I just got a splitter so that I could turn the water on for it. So you can see it was kind of a pain for me to figure out how to make this work for me. And I'm not 100% sure that I have it right, because you can see that it was leaking just a little bit. It doesn't leak when I have the water on, okay? Because it's relieving the pressure. It's when the water's off. It's when the sink is off and the water is on that it does start to leak a little bit, okay? And I did put some plumber tape on there to try to keep it, but I just cannot keep it from leaking, and I can't figure that out. So if anybody out there has any advice on how to make that work better, I'd love to hear it. But that is probably my number one gripe with the whole thing, is they didn't have any instructions on how to do that. I'm sure there are lots of people who know exactly what to do with that stuff. As soon as they see it, they're like, oh, I know what to buy and what to do. I am not one of those people. So that's it. That is the Blackstone Pro Series Serve and Store Prep Cart. I know quite a few people have been talking about them. People have been looking at them. People are wondering if they're worth the cost. I looked at some comparable ones. The comparable ones were about $200 that were anywhere close to having storage or a sink or any of the surface area that this has. And I have seen them for about $200, but usually they didn't have quite as much storage. Their storage was more open air, kind of like my actual Blackstone here that's more open at the bottom. I've seen a lot of prep tables where it's more open air. I wanted more secure and closed in so I could keep stuff out here and feel safe that it was out here secured, okay? So this does give you a lot of storage. It does give you a large prep area for you to use to actually make stuff on, larger than most other prep tables. It comes with this feature where you can hang your prep, your serving stuff up here so you could save this prep area. I think that's a big deal. It's, you know, I don't know about you, but I usually end up with a lot of stuff taking up a lot of counter space when I prep for cooking on the Blackstone. So that service prep area I think is important. And there's just the idea that Blackstone made this for their products. So yes, you can find other stuff that is probably cheaper that works and can just get you by. But this is made for Blackstone products. And if you're like me and you have a whole bunch of Blackstone stuff, things like the spices and things like the spatulas, and the fact that you have this one shelf in here that just, you can fit all of those things. They even thought about how big this is and whether or not it would fit. Things like the fact that the taco thing fits perfectly in a drawer. It's things like that that make this stand out apart from some of those cheaper alternatives. So it's up to you. It may not be worth the price to you, and that makes sense. So if you want something cheaper just to get you by, you can get that. If you want something that is made for Blackstone products, that's going to fit all of your accessories nicely, and you can feel secure in the way that they're stored, and they're going to stay clean, and they're going to stay out of the elements. And it just has some extra nice features like the extra hanging prep area, the stainless steel prep table, the sink, all of those things. Then it is well worth the little bit of extra money that it costs to get this. So, and again, this isn't for everybody. It's for people like me who don't have the money or space or ability to build an outdoor kitchen. You know, some of you, I've seen some fabulous outdoor kitchens out there with your Blackstones. If you have one of those, you don't need this, right? But for people like me who just has this nice patio set up and I have my Blackstone on it, this gives me that outdoor kitchen feel, and it gives me the ability to kind of come out here and do all of my cooking, and I don't have to keep running back and forth into the house to get stuff, and to, you know, I forgot some accessories, so I gotta go get it, or I got a bunch of vegetables and things that I have to prep ahead of time in the house before I come out here, and then I gotta drag them all out here, and it's just a pain. This makes it so much easier. So if you're interested, I highly recommend this product. Highly recommend going to get one. My biggest gripe is I wish there was some instructions on how to hook this sink up. I still probably don't have it right, but if anybody has any advice, I would take it so that I could figure out how to hook this up properly, because I want to use it in a way that, you know, makes it the most useful. All right, so thank y'all. Hope you appreciate this tour of the Serve and Store Pro Series Blackstone prep table. See you next time.